The rake is a creature said to resemble a humanoid figure, often described as thin, pale, and disturbingly hairless. Accounts of the being are scattered across folklore, horror forums, and early Internet archives. It first appeared in the mid-2000s on online discussion boards, where users shared similar encounters without realizing they were describing the same thing. The creature's name is thought to come from its long, claw-like fingers, rake being a reference to the way those hands might scrape or pull. Witnesses most often report seeing it at night, usually near the edge of beds or outside darkened windows. Its intentions remain unknown, but nearly every account mentions the same reaction, an overwhelming sense of dread, followed by dreams or hallucinations that linger for days afterward. While the rake is widely considered a product of modern Internet folklore, some references appear to echo much older traditions. Stories of thin, human-shaped beings that stalked the woods or entered homes in silence. These parallels have led some to suggest the legend is less an invention and more a reinvention of ancient fears. Psychologists and skeptics link the sightings to sleep paralysis and online storytelling culture. Others insist the rake represents something real, a shared experience that spreads not through proof, but through recognition. The feeling that what people describe might actually exist. Whatever it is, the rake has evolved from a rumor into a fixture of modern myth, a reflection of how horror adapts to the digital age. One of the first detailed reports connected to the rake appeared online in 2006. The account came from a woman living in upstate New York who, after a series of sleepless nights, began documenting strange noises around her home. Her statement was later reposted and discussed across early paranormal forums, becoming the template for many later stories. According to the report, she woke in the early hours of the morning to find a pale, hairless figure crouched at the foot of her bed. It did not move or make a sound. Its body was folded awkwardly, its eyes described as hollow and completely black. For nearly a minute, the figure remained still, watching both her and her husband. When it finally moved, it did so with sudden speed, darting to the husband's side of the bed and pausing inches from his face before running from the room. Moments later, the woman heard her daughter scream. She and her husband rushed down the hallway and found the child fatally wounded. Before losing consciousness, the girl reportedly whispered, "He is the rake." Police records of such an event have never been located, and no verifiable names were attached to the post. Yet the story spread rapidly. Readers noted its restrained tone and lack of exaggeration, which made it sound less like fiction and more like a first-hand report. Whether genuine or not, that single post transformed the rake from an Internet curiosity into a creature that felt real enough to fear. Descriptions of the rake's physical form vary slightly, but most accounts agree on a few details. The creature is hairless and gray or bone-white in color, its limbs unnaturally long, and its movements jerky yet deliberate. It is humanoid, but only in the broadest sense. Its proportions are distorted, as though something non-human attempted to mimic the shape of a person. Eyewitnesses have described its hands as elongated, with thin, claw-like fingers that appear capable of grasping or tearing. Its eyes, when visible, are completely black, hollow, and without reflection. It produces no sound, though a few reports mention faint breathing or low rasping noises before an encounter. Some online theories have attempted to classify the rake biologically. One describes it as parasitic, a creature that reproduces through direct infection. The concept, originating from a now-deleted video clip, claims that the rake transfers microscopic organisms, sometimes called protozoaires, into a human host by physical contact or fluid exchange. These organisms allegedly grow within the host until they emerge as a fully formed rake. Although entirely unverified, this idea reflects a deeper fear, that the creature is not born, but made. Some have likened it to a vampire or Nosferatu figure, a living being that depends on human life to sustain itself. Whether these theories are symbolic or literal, the pattern remains the same. The rake doesn't just harm its victims physically, it seems to leave a lingering psychological imprint: nightmares, paranoia, and the persistent feeling that it will return. Reports of the rake's appearance have continued long after its initial spread online. Though few are supported by verifiable evidence, the consistency between independent accounts has fueled the legend's persistence. Most sightings occur in rural or wooded regions of North America, particularly the northeastern United States and parts of the Midwest, though isolated stories have appeared from as far as northern Europe and South America. One of the earliest video clips said to capture the rake surfaced in 2008. The grainy night vision footage, allegedly filmed by a group of hikers in Pennsylvania, shows a pale figure crawling on all fours near a tree line before abruptly vanishing. The original upload was quickly removed after claims of hoaxing, yet fragments and re-uploads continue to circulate. Analysis by viewers remains divided. Skeptics cite costume inconsistencies, while believers point to the unnatural fluidity of its movement. Another often cited piece of evidence appeared in 2013, when a homeowner in Idaho discovered long, deep scratches across his window frame and exterior siding. He claimed to have heard labored breathing outside his bedroom window the night before. The following morning, he found a small clump of skin-like residue lodged between the grooves. The sample was reportedly sent to local authorities, though no public record of lab testing or retrieval exists. Throughout the 2010s, social media revived the legend in a new form. Users began uploading supposed dashcam or trail camera footage that showed humanoid shapes moving unnaturally in darkness. In several cases, timestamps and locations suggested the videos were unrelated, yet the figures bore the same familiar traits: elongated limbs, hunched posture, and a motion that seemed both animal and deliberate. Despite the volume of alleged encounters, no confirmed photographic or physical proof of the rake exists. Most videos either suffer from low resolution or show signs of digital manipulation. Investigators who have attempted to trace the origins of these clips often find broken links, deleted accounts, or re-uploads without context, a pattern that mirrors other internet-born myths. Still, believers argue that the absence of clear proof does not disprove the phenomenon. They point to overlapping testimonies, recurring imagery, and the psychological effects reported by witnesses: recurring dreams, sleep disturbances, and a persistent sense of being watched. To them, the rake may not exist as a physical creature at all, but as something more abstract, a manifestation of collective fear that grows stronger the more it is shared. Whether the rake is a flesh-and-blood entity, a product of the human imagination, or something in between, its presence lingers in the stories we tell. From anonymous forum posts to shaky night vision footage, the legend has survived not because of evidence, but because of fear, that familiar, unshakable feeling of being watched in the dark. Perhaps the rake exists only in the margins of our perception, appearing when the line between sleep and wakefulness blurs, or when the mind strains to explain the unknown. Or perhaps it waits, silent and patient, just beyond our sight. Whatever the truth may be, one thing remains clear: the rake has claimed a permanent place in modern mythology. It reminds us that some fears cannot be rationalized or dismissed, that in the shadowed corners of the world, and even in the shadowed corners of our minds, some mysteries are meant to remain unresolved. So, next time you awaken in the night to a sound you cannot place, or feel the cold brush of unseen fingers, remember the stories, and remember the name. He is the Rake. If you enjoyed this deep dive into modern myth, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more stories from the dark corners of folklore.